He Govind, He Gopal. 40-41. Right? Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskrityam Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayam Udhiraye Nashtaprayeshu Abhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavati Uttama Sloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naishtiki. Reading from the Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 10, the Sammam Bonam, Chapter 70, Lord Krishna's daily activities, text 40 and 41. Atapi Ashravaye Brahma Nana Loka Vidambanam Naraloka Vidambanam Rajnapatir Swaresyasya Rajnapatir Swaresyasya No, not Rajnapatir Rajnapaitra Sareshwarasya Rajnapaitra Sareshwarasya Bhaktasya Cha Chikirshitam. Once more. Atapi Ashravaye Brahma Naraloka Vidambanam Rajna Paitra Swaresyasya Paitra Swaresyasya Rajna Paitra Swaresyasya Rajna Paitra Swaresyasya Bhaktasya Cha Chikirshitam. Atapi Ashravaye Brahma Atapi Ashravaye Brahma Naraloka Vidambanam Naraloka Vidambanam Rajnapati Paitrashreyasya Rajna Paitrashreyasya Bhaktasya Cha Chikirshitam. Atapi Ashravaye Brahma Naraloka Vidambanam Rajna Paitrashreyasya Bhaktasya Cha Chikirshitam. Atapi Ashravaye Brahma Naraloka Vidambanam Rajna Paitra Sashreyasya Bhaktasya Cha Chikirshitam. Atapi Ashravaye Brahma Naraloka Vidambanam Rajnapati Swashreyasya Chikirshitam. Mothers, Atapi Ashravaye Brahma Naraloka Vidambanam Rajñā Paitru Swashreyasya Bhaktasya Cha Chakirchitam Atapi nonetheless Ashravaye I shall tell Brahma, O Supreme Truth, Naraloka of human society, Vidambanam to you who initiate Rajñā of the king, Yudhishthira, Paitra of your father, Swashreyasya of the sister's son, Bhaktasya your devotee, Cha and Chikirshitam the intentions. Translation. Nonetheless, O Supreme Truth, playing the part of a human being, I shall tell you what your devotee Yudhishthira Maharaj, the son of your father's sister, intends to do. Please repeat. Nonetheless, O Supreme Truth, playing the part of a human being, I shall tell you what your devotee Yudhishthira Maharaj, the son of your father's sister, intends to do. Text 41. Desiring unrivaled sovereignty, King Yudhishthira intends to worship you with the greatest fire sacrifice, the Rajasuya. Please bless his endeavor. Purport. King Yudhishthira is described here as Paramestaya Kama, or desiring Paramestaya. The word Paramestaya means unrivaled supremacy and also indicates the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who stands at the very height of all existence. Therefore, Srila Prabhupada translates Narada's message as follows. You have inquired about your cousins, the Pandavas, in the role of their well-wisher, and therefore I shall let you know about their intentions. Now please hear me. First of all, may I inform you that King Yudhishthira has all material opulences that are possible to achieve in the highest planetary system, Brahmaloka. He has no material opulence for which to aspire, and yet he wants to perform the Rajasuya sacrifice only to get your association and to please you. He wants to worship you in order to achieve your causeless mercy, and I beg to request you to fulfill his desires. Since the word Paramasteya may also indicate the position of Lord Brahma, the term Paramasteya Kama is taken here by Srila Prabhupada to indicate not only that King Yudhishthira desired Lord Krishna's association and mercy, but also that King Yudhishthira himself possessed Paramasteya, all opulences of Lord Brahma. Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Iti Namine Namaste Saraswati Devam Gauravani Pracharane Nirvisesha Sunyavadi Paschatya Desitarane Vanchakalpatarobhyasya Kripa Sindhubheva Cha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Rama Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Anybody here for the first time in ISKCON lecture? Anybody? First time ISKCON lecture? First time ISKCON lecture? First time? Yeah, I've seen you before. कहाँ से आए? विलेपार्ले। क्या कर रहे हो? क्या कर रहे हो? स्टूडेंट? जॉब? कौन सा जॉब? Kya? Legal department. You're a lawyer? Huh? Paradukka Sukhi. Isn't it? So, we are reading the Srimad Bhagavatam for those of you who have come for the first time. Srimad means beautiful. Srimad Bhagavatam means the beautiful Bhagavatam. And it's a Purana, one of the Puranas, 18 Puranas, but it has been refined and refined and refined. Because when Vyasadeva had compiled the Vedic literatures, the Vedas, the Upanishads, the Puranas, he also compiled Bhagavatam already. And that's the Bhagavatam that he told his son when his son was in the womb of his mother. And his name was Srila Shukadeva Goswami, and he didn't want to come out because he said, what is the use of coming to this useless world? Then Vyasadeva spoke the Bhagavatam to his mother, and he also heard it as a child in the womb. So that then Sukadeva got attracted, okay, if Bhagavatam is there, this is not a bad place, I'll come, and then he came out. Then later, that Bhagavatam was spoken by the same Sukadeva Goswami to Parikshit Maharaj. That time also Vyasadeva was there and he was hearing. He has compiled, then he spoke once, then he heard from Sukadeva Goswami. And later, Suta Goswami, who was also present at that time, spoke it to the Saunakadi sages in Naimisharanya. That time also Vedavyas was hearing, and so then he compiled, rewrote, edited the Srimad Bhagavatam that is in the present form. So it's called the beautiful Bhagavatam. It is considered the mature fruit of the tree of Vedic knowledge. And while all other Puranas are named Vishnu Purana, Shiva Purana, like that, this is not named Krishna Purana, but it's called Bhagavat Purana. This Purana of God. And we are now in 10th canto, which is the topmost, like a hill is like that. So slowly, first canto to 10th canto, then 11th and 12th, thoda a little bit. So the hill is like that. So this is Sammam Bonam, topmost knowledge. It is about Lord Krishna. So this chapter is describing Krishna is holding darbar in Dwaraka, and that time sage Narada came to visit his assembly, because Narada is in from heavenly planets, Devarishi, and he can travel all over the universe. Not only he can travel, but all the pure devotees of the Lord, they can and they do. So all the acharyas in our parampara, isn't it? They can travel all over the universe, and they do. Therefore, this parampara is constituted of the acharyas, and we are following the parampara, but we are not defining the parampara. So many devotees may come and go, but parampara continues. So I think of myself like that. I think I have given the example before that in Buckingham Palace, there are many, many servants living in the palace. And the head of the household tells them, we are living in the palace, but we are not royalty. Like that, we are following the parampara, but we don't constitute the parampara. So, when we say that we are receiving knowledge from the parampara, it's the knowledge that's coming from through the Acharya parampara. And our job is to facilitate people to come in touch with that knowledge. That is also important. So, Narada Rishi is present now also. He's traveling everywhere. He may also sometimes go by here and see, what is happening? Bhagavatam is being spoken. And this is a very rare scene, the Bhagavatam being spoken. Even 5,000 years ago, when the earth was, people were much, much more pious. 5,000 years ago, people were very pious. Even when I was a child, people were very pious. What to speak of 5,000 years ago? So, even 5,000 years ago, Bhagavatam was spoken once in Naimisharanya. But today, the Bhagavatam is spoken in thousands of temples. Right now, at this time, all over India, Bhagavatam is being spoken in Prabhupada's temples. So you can imagine how great is Srila Prabhupada, that he has facilitated this Bhagavatam to be spoken and heard. Then people come, and for those who are fortunate, they can hear the message. And so we have a great responsibility to present the parampara knowledge without putting ourselves in. And if people can get attracted to read the Bhagavatam, this is in 12 cantos, 18 volumes, and in ISKCON it is printed and published. You can get a full set of Srimad Bhagavatam at a very inexpensive price. And if you just keep it in your house, it is like a temple. Your house is like a temple. Because this Bhagavatam is not different from Krishna. If you just keep it, then you have the benefit of having a temple in your house and doing perfect worship. Even if you just keep the Bhagavatam in your house. If you touch the Srimad Bhagavatam, you are purified. If you read Srimad Bhagavatam, you are purified. Therefore, it's called the beautiful Bhagavatam. If you speak about Bhagavatam, you are purified, speaker, and listener also is purified. Oh, it's about Krishna, Srimad Bhagavatam. So, we should know that all the acharyas are present all the time. They are eternal. But still, Prabhupada indicated, there is some called current acharya in the disciplic succession. And we follow the current acharya. Jai Shri Gaurnita ki jai, Shri Sitaram Lakshman Mohan ki jai, SriSriRadhaRasbihariTemple ki jai. So, sit down, sit down. Bhagavatam is same as the deities. Of course, not when a fool like me speaks, still it's the same as Bhagavatam. As Krishna. Anyways, so our position is very ordinary, but the position of Srimad Bhagavatam is very great. And when the great devotees speak Srimad Bhagavatam, that is also Bhagavatam. Prabhupada is giving lecture, there is also Bhagavatam. Whatever he speaks deserves to go inside book Bhagavatam. But when we speak about Bhagavatam, when someone like me speaks, then that is like pointing to the moon. Oh, moon is there. My finger is pointing, but it's far away from the moon. Still it's also pointing. Like that we are pointing to Bhagavatam. So that is different from Srila Prabhupada speaks Bhagavatam. So when we hear Srila Prabhupada, we must be very careful because every sentence is full of meaning. So when you buy the Srimad Bhagavatam book, along with that comes Srila Prabhupada's purports. And when you read them, great fortune can await. So 5,000 years ago, when Krishna came to this world and he was playing the part of a human king, it appeared like that, although he is the Supreme Lord, isn't it? Prabhupada gave the example that a king sometimes visits the prison in his kingdom, but he is not subject to the rules of the prison, nor is he a prisoner. So someone who is inside the prison might think like, oh, this person is going, he is also a prisoner. No, but he is a king. Not only he is not a prisoner, he can also release you. Similarly, when Krishna comes to the material world, he is actually the Supreme Lord, untouched, and he can also liberate everybody, and that's the purpose for which he comes. And so, Maharaj Narada Muni, who came to see Krishna in Dwaraka, from the heavenly planets he came, is Devarishi. So Krishna received him and said, how are the Pandavas doing? Because Pandavas are related to Krishna. Krishna's father is Vasudeva and his sister is Queen Kunti, and their sons are the Pandavas, are sons. So the Pandavas are Krishna's father's sister. Krishna's father's sister is called what? Huh? No. What relationship is called what? Mercy? Bua? Bua. So his Bua's sons, very close relation. That is why when Arjuna asked Krishna, please tell me, should I fight or not? I am completely confused. Shishyasteham sadhimam tvam prapannam. He said, I am accepting myself as your Sishya, your disciple. But he was his Bua's son, they were close friends, same age. Isn't it? If you have a brother, and of course in the material world also people sometimes when they are in trouble, they go to the brother, please help me, like that. So Arjuna said that you are the Supreme Lord. And Srila Prabhupada explains that one who has understood, this is a very important point, Srila Prabhupada has explained that one who has understood that he is suffering, he is come to human form of life. One who doesn't know that he is suffering is not a human being. Most people don't think they are suffering. If you go and ask, Prime Minister Modi or somebody, are you suffering? Right now he may say, yeah, a little bit. I didn't win as many seats as I wanted or something like that. And that will still be the wrong reason. Not only people do not know we are suffering, and they don't know, if they think they are suffering, what is the real suffering? Very difficult to know. Because people think my body is there, it's very healthy, I'm nice, I'm happy. Sometimes things are bad, but many times things are good. So in the human life, form of life is meant for very sober reflection, to understand that one is suffering. That is very difficult to know. And the cause of suffering is birth and death. So this birth and death is not good, is very difficult to know. I remember when I had just come from the USA, there was in the early 80s or something like that. I went to Chennai, and at that time in Chennai, there was something happening, some small pandemic locally. People were dying. So I remember going to meet the governor with the local devotees. Local devotees were going to meet, they were all foreigners, so they also took me. I had just come and I was from Tamil. So I went with the governor, and I don't even forget what was that occasion, what pandemic was that. And so then the government should do something. It was discussed. The governor is saying yes. I said, I was just a young devotee at that time, and then I told the governor, but do you know that, so somebody said the death rate is quite high, about 200 people are dying every day or something like that, from this, or 2,000 people dying every day. I said, do you know that there is another bigger pandemic also? And he said, no, what is that bigger pandemic? He said, millions of people are dying every day due to this pandemic. He said, wow, what is that? I never heard in the news. I said, no, it's happening, and every day a few million people are dying in Tamil Nadu, and more people dying every day. It's called death. That pandemic is called death. People are dying. Oh, he said, yes, but that we can't do anything about that. No, you can, and you must. And that is very difficult to realize, very, very difficult to realize. I remember in the olden days, I used to give lecture and give simple example that if I gave you a nice Rolls-Royce car, will you take it? It's free. People will say yes. But if I said the car is very nice, it has only one problem, it has got a time bomb. And we don't know when it will explode, but until then you can drive. It may explode tomorrow, or it may explode after 50 years, you can drive. Will you drive? They'll say, no. But if you want to drive, what is the first thing you will do? Try to locate the bomb and remove it. This is common sense. But in the material world, the human body is like that, like a Rolls-Royce car. It comes with a time bomb. Death can happen tomorrow, sometime later. People say, nahi, hum chalayenge gaadi ko. No problem. Till it explodes. That's not very intelligent, but we do that. So this suffering in the material world, this cause is very difficult to know, and this suffering is because of the senses. Our senses are the source of our suffering. But we are thinking now it is the source of our pleasure. I can see nice things, I can eat nice things, I can smell nice things, I can touch nice things, like that. You see? And those senses are called Rishik. And Krishna is called Rishikesh, the master of the senses. And Prabhupada is explaining that if you are renting a house, and although you are living there, it is not your house. We are living in this building, devotees, but it is not our house. It is Krishna's house. Similarly, everybody is, the senses are belonging to Krishna, Rishikesh, master of the senses. We are not the owner of the senses. It is rented out right now to us. But most people behave like we are the owners of this place. In the material world, if you rent a place, even the owner cannot come without your permission. Correct? But this body is not like that. Krishna will come, and he will come without your permission and take all this away. Therefore Krishna says, I am death, am I. Sarvasyaham arati. So I am taking away everything. So when Krishna comes as death, nobody can stop. So this material rule that the owner cannot come to your house when you are renting is artificial. So then there comes the next level. First people think they own the house, that's wrong. But then generally people who rent, they do their own stuff. Isn't it? Nobody is saying, I am renting the house, but it is your house, and in this house I will do whatever you want. No. So even religious people, they are actually using the senses to do what they want. The irreligious people use the senses their own way, and the religious people, they are using the senses still to do what they want, according to rules. But a Vaishnava, a devotee, although he is renting this place and he has, he's paying, he has paid karma, by that he gets this body, still he uses the senses only for the pleasure of the owner of the senses. That is very rare in this material world. Isn't it? Have you ever seen somebody rent a house and then do the work of the owner? No. So, that is called yajna, sacrifice. When, even though you have got your senses that God has given, that you can use for yourself, you use it for Krishna. Like right now you have come and you are actually hearing about Krishna. So you have got the sense of hearing, I have got the sense of speech, I am using it for Krishna, and you are using the hearing for Krishna. And that is called Rishikena Rishikesha Sevanam Bhaktir Uttamam. You see? And it's a very pleasant process. You are hearing about Krishna and it's very nice and it's very pleasant. And that is yajna. So, Srila Prabhupada is converting the entire world into a yajna-shala by making it possible for us to speak about Bhagavatam. I know nothing about Krishna. An ordinary person, fully immersed in the senses. But he has set up a system by which we can also speak about Krishna authentically from Srimad Bhagavatam. So he has presented everything in the Bhagavatam nicely, and our job is to simply present it in a way so that people get attracted to go and read Bhagavatam. And in this way, it becomes very nice. So Krishna is called Rishikesh, and one who keeps this in the forefront of his consciousness is called a devotee. He's a bhakta. Rishikena Rishikesha Sevanam Bhakti Uttamam. Paying rent is okay. That's also nice. At least regularly you are paying rent. But if you are using the house for the owner, how much the owner will be pleased? So the devotee, when he is using the senses to serve Krishna, is pleasing Krishna in a way that Krishna says nobody else can please him. Even the great sages are paying good rent. They are paying more rent than most people. Still, that is not as pleasing to Krishna as devotees who are using the senses. And what does it mean to use the senses to serve Krishna? It means you use it for Krishna's purposes. So every human being, and this is another important point, every human being must have a responsibility, job responsibility, that is given to him by Krishna or Prabhupada. That is called seva. Please try to understand this point. Just like you say, oh, today is Saturday, and tomorrow is Sunday, Monday I have to go to work. Because you got a responsibility, you got a job. Similarly, every human being must have a responsibility. If I ask you, oh, what is your job? Oh, I have to do this, Prabhupada, for Krishna. And that will not come to everybody automatically. It's not fukad. It's not free. Seva adhikar diye koro nijadasi. You have to get the right to receive that seva. Just because you say you are doing seva, you cannot just do it whatever you want. Suppose I go to some office, Air India building in Nariman Point. I don't think it's there anymore. It's gone. They moved to Delhi, I heard. Some other kind of office, right? What other office is there? Give me some name, some company. Reliance company. I go to Reliance headquarters and I take a broom, jadu, and I start sweeping. Security will come and say, hey, kya kar raha hai? No, I'm just sweeping. What for? No, just I appreciate this company, I just give service. Nahi. Chalo, chodo, go out. You cannot do it. You cannot even sweep without being authorized. So not only spiritual master must be bona fide, servant also must be bona fide. So if I can become bona fide spiritual servant, that's the first step. Are you following? How do you become qualified? That is called sadhana. You are coming and hearing now Bhagavatam. That is sadhana. You are coming in the morning to the temple and worshipping the deity. That is sadhana. And why are we doing this sadhana? To become qualified to receive service. It must be, so in sadhana stage also you have responsibilities. But when you actually receive Prabhudatta Seva, which is a result of having done sadhana properly, that is something else. That drives your life. So every human being must be able to say, this is what I have to do for Krishna, apart from everything else you are doing in your life. Are you following? Came for the first time. Madam, you are following? So if somebody asked you, what is your responsibility? Do you have an answer? The thing that you have to do for Krishna specifically. Do you have a duty like that? No. So that means human life is not yet commenced. So, spiritual master is there, Prabhupada is there, to give you that service, Seva Adhikar. So first we are trying to get Seva Adhikar, the right to. So I'm just only sweeping, what is the problem? I'm not charging anything, free. नहीं, अगर झाड़ू लगाना है तो पहले नौकरी ले लो यहाँ से. तो कैसे देने का नौकरी? You apply for job. The advertisement will come for झाड़ू लगाने वाला के लिए apply करो. That's a procedure. Seva Adhikar. So we are applying. And that seva will never change. Eternal. The difference is that when you get that seva from Srila Prabhupada, that will Prabhudatta seva it is called, not Mandatta seva. You like, you have joined, isn't it? Nobody told you should join. So that is, whatever you like you are doing, that is Mandatta seva. But whenever you do what Prabhupada likes, that is Prabhudatta seva. So that is a high position. That's what you are trying to get. So you should know what is the goal. And later, Krishna himself will give seva. Therefore, when we chant, the meaning of chanting is that, O Krishna, O energy of Krishna, O Krishna, please kindly engage me in your service. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So, this is the goal of life. Goal of life is not that we just come here and then imagine I'm doing bhakti. We have to become bhakti yogis, and it's a process. Anyway, so everybody is doing what Krishna wants. So when Krishna asked Narada Muni, what are the Pandavas doing? Narada Muni was smiling, and he was saying that not only you know everything, but everything it's also caused by you to happen. Maya adhyakshena prakriti suyate characharam. Krishna says everything is taking place under my supervision. And Narada Muni knows, that's why he's Acharya. So he's saying, you are just coming here like a king, you are sitting there and you are saying it's my relative Pandavas what they are doing. But you know everything. Still, because you are asking, I should tell. Narada Muni is saying that I don't want to be in the Maya like other people, thinking we do what we want. You see? Because we are all servants, your servants, everybody. Some willingly, some unwillingly. Prabhupada gave the beautiful example that in the city, everybody is obeying the law of the government. Some are willingly obeying, they are free. They also have laws, but they are willingly obeying, citizens. Others who break it, they are put in the prison and they have to obey the laws of the prison. They are forced to obey. So we are people who are forced to obey Krishna's laws, they suffer. And those who are willingly obeying, they are free of the laws. That is how to overcome the cycle of birth and death. In any case, so Narada Muni is saying that Yudhishthira Maharaj, you want him to do this Rajasuya Yajna. This Rajasuya Yajna you want him to do because you want to crown him as a king. That is your plan. Narada Muni knows that. There is going to be a war. And everybody else will be killed and the Pandavas will be remaining and they will become the king of the planet. But Yudhishthira Maharaj, he was planning with his brothers Krishna is now in Dwaraka. We are missing him. The Pandavas are devotees. So they said, how can we bring Krishna here? So to bring Krishna here, you have to have an event that is worthy of Krishna being here, isn't it? You cannot say, Prime Minister, please come, today we have feast in the Brahmachari ashram. It's not big enough. So if you want to call Prime Minister, then you have to say, oh, we are opening a grand new temple, or we are doing something big, for which when he comes, it's something great. So, Yudhishthira Maharaj planned, along with his brothers, said, let us do a yajna, but yajna also, Krishna, what is the point? Krishna may not come. Let us do that yajna which is very difficult to perform, Rajasuya yajna. It has got so many rules and it's one of the most difficult things. And I think there is a rule that someone who has done 100 Rajasuya yajnas or something like that becomes Indra. You see? If a king can do one Rajasuya yajna, it's very great. They had to go and take a whole mountain of gold in order to actually do the Rajasuya yajna. It's all described in the Bhagavatam. So, he's saying, another Rishi to Krishna, that Yudhishthira is doing this Rajasuya yajna in order to get you to come. Because you are sitting here in Dwaraka and they are missing you. So these are devotees. So they are free to act. Devotees are free because they willingly obey Krishna's laws. And so they also do things thinking that they are doing, and Krishna helps them. Because every living entity has a minute degree of independence given by Krishna to them. So using that free will, because Yudhishthira Maharaj and the Pandavas are devotees, they are saying, we will now do this yajna and trick and bring Krishna here. Devotees are always planning like that. In Goloka, Krishna is every day going out in the morning with millions and millions of his friends to herd the cows. He goes out in the pasturing ground. And in the evening he is coming. And when he is coming, all the gopis, billions and billions of gopis are standing on the top. And they are all waiting eagerly to see Krishna come, watching. But they love Krishna. So, one gopi is telling another gopi, did you see Krishna, how he was smiling at this other gopi on the other side? He was walking, he's looking at us, at the same time he's looking there and he's smiling. And I think today he may be going to her house. Then another gopi says, don't worry, I know one mantra, I'll tell you that mantra. By that Krishna will come here only. They are having their own, they also have mantra, and they think they can control Krishna. And Krishna willingly comes under their control. Not only that this mantra is so good, Krishna will come to your place for a party, he won't go there also. I know one such mantra. Oh, what is that? You please teach me. Love of Krishna. Goloka is a wonderful place. It's not like going in our countryside with one cow. It's a wonderful place. Every activity is incredibly beautiful. Spotlessly clean. Millions and billions of acres of lawns and land, spotlessly clean. It's like painting. So perfect, it's so beautiful. And you cannot even imagine, the cows are so perfect and calves are so perfect. Everything looks like picture perfect, they say, in the material world. That's true in Goloka. It's amazingly beautiful. And activities are many, all are beautiful activities. Many people always think, hey, staying in the temple, what you are doing all day? What do you mean by what we are doing all day? Amazing activities are taking place. Especially those who have got Prabhudatta Seva in their heart. Every minute their life is full of suspense and twists and turns. We are very active here. We are not sleeping. We are not idle people. Everybody is working very hard, all of you, for Krishna. But people think you're doing nothing. Isn't it? Because they cannot imagine that this is real activity. Ya nisha sarvabhutanam. They are thinking you are wasting time, and we are thinking they are wasting time. So the disrespect is mutual. You see? But devotees are so. Imagine if we are so busy here, how much more busy it will be in Goloka, of which this is a branch. You see? So Goloka is a fantastic place. Everything is amazing. Every place. I remember when I had one big project in mind here for this temple way back when I was president, and I couldn't do that. Anyway, for that project I went because it will bring the whole of India to this temple. A project I was saying. Anyway, for that project I went, and I had gone to at that time one place, Epcot or something it's called, and somewhere in America, Florida, I think. And when you enter, they got it on some 2,000 acres. And then when you enter, there's music everywhere in the air. Normally you will see, big speakers and, music will become... But here, wherever you go, there's all kind of light, slow music, soft music. Tens of thousands of people are there, everybody is speaking, but the music is coming all the time. I was very surprised from where this music is, an open area, and where is this music coming from? Then I found out that they have put bushes everywhere, and inside the bushes they have put speakers. You cannot see. And these bushes are continuous. I've got thousands and thousands of speakers. They're all connected to the same music, and it's coming all the time. And they're going, oh, very nice. Then I realized that if these fellows are so good in putting music everywhere, how should the Goloka be? Where every step is a dance and every word a song. See? So, Goloka is an extraordinary place. And why was I saying that? I forget now. What was my original point? What was I? Why did I get into this? Anybody following the trend of the class? Anyway, I forgot now. So the point is that Maharaj Yudhishthira is planning. So I was talking about how in the spiritual world everybody is... So everywhere, everybody is doing things, thinking they are doing it. But in the material world, they are in Mahamaya, which is always punishing them for their activities. But in the spiritual world, they are in Yogamaya, which is always rewarding them. For whatever they want to do, Krishna is rewarding, there's bliss. So Narada Muni is explaining to Krishna that this Maharaj Yudhishthira is doing the Rajasya Yajna in order to please you, but at the same time, the more important thing is to attract you to come there so that they can be with you. So this is the activity that's going on, that's being described in Srimad Bhagavatam 5,000 years ago, and in relation to Krishna. Any questions or comments? Yes, Sundar Chaitanya Prabhu.
Hare Krishna. You were very nicely describing about the pandemic, death. So it becomes very difficult for even to me or any common person to really understand that, because these things go so subtly and so smoothly, so slowly, that it becomes very difficult to actually kind of take a note of it. So how we like
Very good point. He's asking that you talked about the pandemic that is there every day. Millions and millions of people are dying. But even for me, for him, he says, I'm not trying to be a devotee, but we hear about this every day, and what to speak of others. It is very difficult to realize this, isn't it? That was your point. So how can we factually feel this? Like when you have cold, you know that you have got cold, you have to take medicine. And when you have fever, you know that you have got fever, you have to take medicine. But nobody is thinking that I've got a disease called death and I should take some, even devotees, we are thinking, oh, every day I'm going on nicely. Tomorrow I'll do this, today I'll do that, tomorrow, day after tomorrow I'll do this. We are planning. But we are not acting in the spirit that we are actually diseased, isn't it? The question is that how can we actually take that to be a real component of our life? That's the question. That is the difference between bhakti and bhakti yoga. So for that you have to become a yogi. Very important. The yogi is completely one with the purpose of the Lord. The bhakti yogi especially. For that, you see, one has to hear a lot, constantly. And when we hear, we should suspend our mind. Our mind is always disturbing our hearing. We have not learnt the art of hearing without thinking. Have you heard Prabhupada's lecture or have you read Prabhupada's books without thinking? Sundar Chaitanya Prabhu. Have you? Have you heard a lecture without thinking? Not a single thought? No. That is called hearing. If you sit to hear Prabhupada, there's no need to think, there's no need to understand. That's the same thing in chanting. You have to hear. Hearing means without thinking. So, hearing someone like Prabhupada is a great opportunity to practice hearing, actual hearing, without thinking. For that, there must be training. But Krishna is Chaitya Guru, so even if you try this, simply sit and hear the sound. That's all. Are you following what I'm saying? So when the whole idea of understanding that the material world is a disease is to recognize that I have to ignore it. That's the first stage. The person who is actually diseased, he will not indulge in the activities that increase the disease. Suppose somebody is diabetic, he cannot go on eating sweets, isn't it? The restrictions must be there. So first, the restrictions, the rules and regulations are only the beginning. No tea, no coffee, no meat, no eggs, no fish, no illicit, no gambling. This, no more material world. That is the highest regulation. What are the 4 regulatory principles you should follow when they get initiated? No more material activities. Okay. Second, no more material activities. I see. Okay. Third, no more material activities. Fourth, no more material activities. That's it. If there are no material activities, what is the point of saying no meat, no fish, no eggs, no gambling? Are you following? So, when they ask Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, this is a very, very important question. It's the essence that we have to meditate on. It's a good question. Who is a Vaishnava? Vaishnava is Asat Sangha Tyagi. Asat Sangha is not only no more meat, fish, eggs, no more temple going, ordinary temple going, no more religious activities, no Shraddha ceremony, nothing. Like Prabhupada quoted Yamunacharya, Sandhya Vandanam Bhadram Te, Trikala Snanam Bhadram Te Stubhyam. So, goodbye to taking bath, goodbye to Sandhya Vandan, goodbye to this, goodbye, everything, all auspicious activities also goodbye. So, devotee, bhakti yogi, bhakti we are doing, but bhakti yogi means nothing other than bhakti. Nothing. You are walking from brahmachari ashram to the temple, no thinking. That's sadhana. Going to the temple is not the only sadhana. Going from the brahmachari ashram to the temple, no thinking. Walking in the street, you are going to buy something for the temple, no thinking. Only Krishna. Yoginam api sarvesham madgatena antaradata shraddhavan bhajate yo mam samekta tamo mataha. That is the position of the bhakti yogi. Naturally and effortlessly, 24 hours he is thinking, but that thinking is at the level of soul, not the mind. And I explained last time, there is no difference between mind, intelligence and ego and soul. Like in the milk, there is separately, there is no dahi, ghee, like that. It's all together. So 24/7, you should give up thinking. No more the external world. Yadate moha kalilam buddhir vatitirishasi tada gandasi nirvesham shrotavasya sutasya cha. You shall become indifferent to all that you have heard, all that you are hearing, and all that you will hear in the future. You don't care. Like I gave the example, when you are going on the street, you don't pay attention to every sound. Oh, auto rickshaw sound. Oh, bus sound. Oh, taxi sound. No, it's useless. Shrotavasya sutasya cha. So when you actually become indifferent to the material world, that time you can see clearly how this world is Maya. When Srila Prabhupada went to America in Jaladuta, he wrote, and one of the verses is there, says that, you have shown me kindly. Prabhupada said that. I saw the entire creation is just bubbles coming and going. So nothing, everything is temporary, nothing is real. Whatever, of course, Prabhupada knows that all the time, but Krishna is showing more so that he can be prepared for his task. So we cannot take this world to be factual and real and then consider to be a disease. Are you following what I am saying? Because once you take it to be real, you are caught in the temporal flow. Oh, I have to, that's what people are. I have to get up, I have to go to work. Oh, I have to cook. Oh, I have to read the newspaper. Oh, I have to find out the election result. Oh, I have to. No, you don't have to anything. You only have to think of Krishna at the level of the soul. Atmani eva atmani tushtaha. By the soul, you think of the Supreme Soul. So our disease is already that this mind and body we are engaged. So we have to come out of that. And the most potent way to come out of material remembrance. What is that? Yaha deha rasmriti nahi kaha samsara bandhana. Where there is actually no remembrance. Try to understand. You don't even remember. Like Hey, you were supposed to give me, yesterday you said you'll give me that phone number, what happened? Oh, I'm sorry, I forgot. No remembrance. So if somebody says, do you know that, oh, you are in the cycle of disease and death? Oh, I'm sorry, I forgot. You forgot? What are you doing? I'm thinking about Krishna. No more birth and death. Because you're thinking about that. Krishna says, Mamu Pyetyatu Kaunteya Punarjanmana Vidyate. So there's no more birth and death. Simple. So you have to forget material existence. Yaha Dehara Smriti Nagi Kaha Samsara Bandhana. So you have to forget material existence, which is imposing itself on you. There is actually a verse here that he says the living being caught in the cycle of birth and death is all there. Does not know how he can be delivered from the material body, which brings him so much trouble. That's there. 2 days ago. So the living entity does not know how to forget this material existence. He's not trained. Why is Prabhupada speaking? Because when he is speaking, you don't think. Try this. When you read Prabhupada's books, don't think. Just read. It's coming. You don't have to think. Prabhupada said, when you take the medicine, you don't have to think. The medicine will act. So when you sit next time in Wednesday class for Srila Prabhupada, don't think. Oh, Prabhupada is saying this. He said that in the other class. Oh, it's so nice. Well, nonsense. No more thinking. Have you heard Prabhupada's class without thinking? You want to do that? Try that. That is the first step in becoming free of material existence. There is no other way. No other way. No other way. That's why we have his class. And whatever class we have, we should tell people to understand what is it, how to connect with Prabhupada. Making sense or no? Very important question. How can I take this disease I have seriously? I'm going on without, I'm not taking it seriously. Yes. So you have to hear. Touch Runu. And hear without thinking. It's a very good question. Excellent question. Give him some Mahaprasadam sweet. Special. Huh? From your hand, right? Any other questions? Who was that person last time? He said he had a question after the class, and I said, ask in the class. He didn't come. Young boy was there. We'll stop here. Granthra Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai. Srila Prabhupada ki jai.